And we are live. Welcome to another episode. You know what? Let me just say podcast. I am your host, Ray. With me, as always, his father
What's good, y'all?
and first Black Ginger.
What's up? How you just going?
And if anybody else comes through, we will introduce y'all to them. We'll let them introduce you as usual. All right. The first thing I want to start off with is actually um, kind of like jump off from last week because we talked about Yes Jules last week, and this week, Daniel Caesar, Daniel Caesar, um, was on Instagram Live actually defending Yes Jules and calling black people very sensitive. I want to know y'all thoughts on that.
You want to take You want to take this first, Holly?
Oh Lord. You already know what I'm about to say. um, yeah. First of all, I was never on Daniel Caesar. There was just something about him that I couldn't get. I mean, his little song with her was cute. You know what I'm saying?
I
It was
just
a
thought
good
he was
song.
ugly, but that's just me.
Yeah, and yeah. Other than that, like I ain't never really like. You know how like there's a singer or like a rapper you just can't get into. Just you can't explain it. It's just not clicking. So
Right.
like that's how he was to me. And this confirmed it. This is like, oh, okay, he got a coon spirit. That just tells me everything I need to know. Because this is actually not the first time he said something about black people. He's actually said some other stuff about black people that was on the coon side. So I was like very, very. I mean, I kind of wasn't surprised, but at the same time, he is so like out of the loop that is hilarious. Like the shit that he said, that he don't really. Not only does he not really know black people like that, but at this point, he's just willfully ignorant. Because the shit that he said was not true at all. Talking about we need to be nicer to white people. Who? Like black people are the most inclusive group ever. We stay forgiving people. We forgave for Martin Luther King. We forgave for Malcolm X. We stay forgiving people.
We
What the
forgave
fuck
for
do you
Young
mean be
Rue.
nice to white people? Like, nigga, we done somebody probably forgave him. The dude that shot up that church in Charleston forgave
Young
Dylan Roof.
Rue.
Um, like, bruh, what do you mean be nice to white people? Have all these Negroes love white people. Let's just be honest. Like,
Bro, we are a
oh,
forgiving. People say it all the time. We are a forgiving group. We like we definitely like that's why it says no one's more Christian than black people. And I'm pretty sure other religions have like forgiveness in their scriptures. But as far as black people, we are so forgiving. We're just like, it's alright, I forgive you.
it's
You know,
it's
like God
annoying
does.
how forgiving we are. It's
Yes.
actually annoying how fucking forgiving we are.
Hmm.
Phil, you wanna chime in?
Okay. Looking at Daniel Caesar, he looks like somebody that's really trying hard to be what he's not. He sounds like the type of person that's probably been teased growing up by other black people, but that's not an excuse because we all were teased by other black people. Come find out. But nah, there's just certain things you don't apologize. You just can't let slip by. And I'm a forgiving person, but you just can't let things slip by. You gotta address it. Sometimes you gotta smack it. And I'm not a violent person. I'm a United States Marine.
You're a violent person.
I'm not a violent person.
You're a Marine. You're a killer.
If I
It's like
was a violent person, I'd have never made it out of boot camp. I would have fought one of the drill instructors or one of the other recruits.
okay.
Right. Like, just like the thing that kills me about the entire thing was the people that he was sitting with. You saw the people that he was sitting with in the damn video?
They ain't give a damn. They was eating their food.
Yeah, and I was like he was on live. He was like, "Let me ask you something. Why are we so mean to white people?" And I'm like, "Oh my good God in heaven,
The
you are
first thing
not
he
really
said,
about to."
"Are there black people in this live?" I'm like,
Yeah,
oh God, who says
and I'm
this?
like, "Who says that?" And then second of all, you gonna say some shit like that and then pretend like, oh, all lives matter. Everyone, people, we all bleed the same color. And I mean, yeah, that's fine, but we wasn't all bleeding the same color when all those brothers that got shot by the cops and they walk free. Is it free? Is it all blood is red now? They could just spill black blood on the streets, get away with it. So is that equality? I'm just saying, like the shit is so out of context with him. Even if you did explain it to him, it's too late. In my opinion, he's gone.
All right. I totally agree with you. And then I got to thinking because I'm starting to think this because white like Toronto, I think Toronto is really different from the United States because I think I remember when Harriet Tubman used to free the slaves, they used to go all the way to Canada, and I don't think Canada is as racist. I could be wrong. I could be wrong about this. I don't think Canada is as racist as American is, or they don't do much presidents. Every time when I see someone from uh Toronto or Canada or around that area, they're usually multicultural. They're not just around black people, they're around white people, they're around like a melting pot. So I kind of like, I don't want to say I'm gonna give him a slide, but since he is from Canada, I feel like, and even this with Drake, and I feel like they don't experience the racism like we do. So they're looking at from the outside in. It's like, why are y'all so sensitive?
You
Like, what
know,
is all this? All lives matter and all that.
I can't remember, but it's an Asian actor. I can't think of his name. Something Wong, Eddie Wong, I think it is. I have to double check. But I remember him having a show and he was talking to his father, who was a Chinese born, Chinese born.
Oh, Eddie Wong. Eddie Wong.
Yeah, Eddie, yeah. He was talking to his father about it, and his father even stated, he said, I came here, I seen a bunch of opportunities, but I'm guessing there's something different that you see than what I see from that, because you kind of grew up here more than I did. So you probably see them indifferences where I don't. So that you could be right on that. Like, racism is a little different everywhere else, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Colorism everywhere, so racism everywhere. And sometimes America seems like the worst country for racism, but we're probably the best due to the fact we talk about it. One of our old college professors heard a story of him. He's half German, and he was in Germany trying to get into a club, and somebody said something in German, not knowing that he can speak it. It was very racist. Like, I don't want this like black person in my club or something.
And
Yeah.
Also Ray, so Canada is actually as racist as we don't like to think, because they also had African slaves, and actually their indigenous people also got bopped. So they're kind of in the same predicament as us. The only thing is Canada is so low key with it, you'll never know.
That makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot more sense. Like I said, I could have been wrong about that, but it seems like every time like someone from Canada, they have a different view on American racism than uh Americans do. Like I feel like all the black people from Canada don't understand why we fight so hard for the stuff we have. And but then again, Canada, like they're like, I think they try to be so left that they're like blocking out freedom of speech. And I think that's what Jordan Peterson was saying. It was um like y'all passed, they kind of passed laws that's very unconstitutional, and I think that's why some people that's from Canada come here too. But like you said, their racism could be low key.
A lot of places
And
racism is low key. And
the funny part is, oh no, go ahead.
and I think that's why a lot of people come here, not just for the opportunities, just because you have a voice. What Vladimir Putin just Now our podcast is gonna be tagged because I mentioned the Russian, but he so he recently passed a law that you can't insult politicians. Like, and I'm not sure. Yeah, so you can't, and and China, I think it is. You can't Google the what is it? What's that human right thing we got over here? The human God, why can't I think of the name of it?
Human rights.
Say again, Father.
Constitution.
Well, you said human rights.
Yeah, it was like human rights, the Bill of Rights, the Bill of Rights.
Oh, Bill of Rights.
You can't supposedly you can't Google that, search that in China. So a lot of people come here because of the freedom to speak and not be executed. That's why you ever meet some minorities that come from different countries that are Republican because they believe Republicans are standing up for what they believe in or letting you have that voice.
I think it's so they're unapologetic. Like they're Republican and proud.
Very proud. Like, yeah, very unapologetic too.
Yeah, and also Ray, about your point about Canada, like it's funny because Canada racism isn't low key, but it's just not like broadcasted like in America. Like in America, like everything we did when it came to racism was pretty public. You know what I'm saying? The assassination of Martin Luther King and Malcolm X, and then like you know what I'm saying, the Black Panther Party, the bombing of what's it called, Black Wall Street, like all of that is like public knowledge. But like in Canada, it's there, but like unless you're there, you won't eat. Like they'll never say anything. It's like a code there. You know what I'm saying? It's like they're on code when it comes. Like they don't ever mention racism like that unless you're actually in the country. There's actually a book by let me see. There's actually a book about police brutality in Canada, and that like details like most of its you know what I'm saying, like prominent cases and shit. And it's called Police and Black Bodies: State Violence in Canada from Slavery to the Present by Robin Maynard. And yeah, like that book like chronicles a lot of the intense like police brutality cases specifically on Black people by white Canadian cops. So it's actually pretty parallel to America. And like when I found all that shit, I was like, oh fuck.
Black people want too many handouts.
Is that cute?
Oh shit.
Motherfucking cute.
The God, Q to reach God.
You reach God.
It's in the building. Everybody just reach one time for yourself. Just reach
My
one
nigga,
time.
are you in town?
Yeah, I'm like home.
This nigga. Oh my God.
Yeah, I just came back.
Well,
2 days ago.
Man, good to have you here. For those who don't know, this is Q to Reach God. He's been on the podcast before.
Yeah,
Glad to have you here. So,
glad to be here.
What your opinion about the Daniel Caesar shit?
Hey, first of all, let's talk about how Daniel Caesar's face doesn't match any of the songs that he sings.
I'm saying.
Like, let's start off with that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Daniel Caesar. Daniel Caesar is another person like that one chick. What's her name? Azealia Banks. I never heard of her.
Azealia Banks.
Yeah, I've never heard of her or Daniel Caesar until they said something stupid out their mouth.
Azealia Banks is just crazy. Like, I know you hate when call different people. That woman is straight cuckoo. This is coming from a Gemini. This is a Gemini speaking from a Gemini.
Something wrong with her. Like, I have no something wrong.
I never met a person that wants that shit out so bad but can't take it.
Yeah, like she's like the worst. Like, if she came around me, she would hate me.
Boy, get your dread out the goddamn camera.
What up, Clarence?
Yo, what's up? What's up?
If she came around me, like DC Young Fly did what he's supposed to do. Fired her ass.
Yeah.
Killed her ass. I was like,
Oh, shit, man.
shit. Well, fuck that, man. Fuck that shit, man. That racist shit. I'm so tired of it. I'm so like, it's racism everywhere, and if you want to spend your time trying to defend it or trying to justify why it was wrong and shit like that instead of trying to make changes about it, and I have nothing to say to you because anybody can have an opinion. Somebody might not. I might say the word nigga right now. Phil might get offended about it, but Ray don't get offended about it. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's just it's dependent. Shut the fuck up, Phil. It's dependent. It's all depending on the person and how they think. Some people don't see racism anymore. They're so in denial that they try to go over it and try to forget about it like it doesn't exist anymore. Yes, Jules. I don't even like her. Like she has the worst fucking sex tape I've ever seen in my life. Like it's so many things.
I didn't know she had a sex tape. Yeah.
Like that's how
I actually watched it. It's a lot of screaming.
Yeah, like I swear to God, it's a lot of screaming back. That's it. Like it's trash. Like, you couldn't even do a sex tape correctly.
Like, you gonna see if I had a sex tape in my back.
Shut the fuck up. Join up real quick.
Just look it up on Pornhub. That's what
That's what I'm about to do.
What Loaded Luck say? Don't worry about it. We saved the file.
Wow.
When you get on the internet, it do not go away.
Yeah. But her fucking sex tape has.
Speaking of Loaded Lux, Q, how you feel about Murder Mook caping?
You said
for,
what?
Yes, Jules. How you feel about Murder Mook caping for Yes, Jules?
I haven't heard Murder Mook name in years.
Bruh. Murder Mook is still having nightmares about Averb. I'm not worried about nothing that Murder Mook has to do. Like he's still having nightmares of ball game on a fucking day. That's all he do. He scream ball game when he wake up and shit because he owed Hitman that damn money.
Showtime.
Where every kid he see, he think it's showtime. He don't want to go. He don't go to no daycares. He don't go to no high schools because he thinks showtime gonna pop up out of nowhere.
He stopped going to Apollo because it's showtime at the Apollo.
Hey, he stopped watching games on Sunday because it always on Showtime.
She kind of thick in this joint. Am I watching the right person?
Yeah, she thick as hell. She got ass on her.
She got some cakes.
She had to be a bitch.
She got the cakes.
Yeah, she got. Oh yeah, my man. She got cakes, butter biscuits back there.
The butter biscuits.
That's what I'm saying, right? Him and Daniel Caesar's got the fucking 8 biscuit fucking combo. You can see the pearls all over the side of their mouth.
I can't really tell if that's her face or not.
Puerto Rican and what? Italian was it?
Yeah, Puerto Rican and Italian. Spicy white girl.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's definitely her.
Never fail.
White girl with seasoning.
Yeah.
Little
mirror on there.
Disrespectful. So y'all just called her. Yeah. So basically, I just called a potato salad with
paprika.
Yeah.
No raisins.
Yeah.
You seen that one episode of Teen Titans where he like put that one salt in that potato salad?
Bruh.
Rob put that one salt in the potato salad. That's him. That's just
yeah. Bruh, that Daniel Caesar shit, man. Everybody needs to just start coming as a community, bro. The one thing I notice about black people, bro, we want too many handouts. We want to be the victim so bad, bro. And we want people to feel.
That was gonna be my next question. Because he said that black people, we always want to play the victim of things, and I was wondering, is that true? Do y'all think that's true?
You think what?
Reframe the question.
Do you think black people always play the victims?
No.
No.
That's a hard.
All right. So
I think that before anybody.
One at a time. All
right. Who want to go first?
Because I already know my answer.
Okay.
Well, I think that sometimes it's justified because there's been a lot of shit put against us. but this sometimes it's things that we do that we continue to do to keep us from reaching our goals and ideals that we have adopted that has been fed to us
Facts.
Mhm.
that we don't want to let go of. Like for example, I had a debate today about with this guy about whole non-violence thing being the way to go. You don't get nowhere with violence. I'm like, that's not what the West. That's not what these other races done. These other races they've done
I
plenty
was
of violence. They
about to
got
say a lot of wars
They want
in our
more.
history.
you said what?
I said there's a lot of wars.
Exactly. In Chinese history, because if you look at because I'm like, if you look at the Asians, you look at the whites, they got their whole own economic system, and they're the biggest ones in the world, and they got a history full of violence. But we continue to adopt these little things that we've been fed through white society, and this is why
Well,
we're not flourishing because it's been put on us
Facts.
so we can fail.
That's a fact.
I still think white women are most violent because as soon as you disagree with them, they want to punch you.
Oh yeah, yeah, they do punch like when black yeah, when black women disagree with you, they just call you names and shit. But when white women disagree with you, they be trying. They get ferocious. They get ferocious. They do get. I seen some videotapes. They get ferocious.
I mean, there's a whole video feed of white women destroying PlayStations just because their boyfriend was spending more time with it than them.
Oh
Black women
yeah,
don't have to do nothing like that.
Because black women know that they paid so much money to buy that PlayStation for that nigga. They be damn.
they
Right.
like, nah, that's money.
They
I'd rather go
be
sell it
damn
or
if they gonna break it. They'll fuck around and sell that bitch before they go ahead and.
something. Right.
Use your common sense. This is what they did.
Yeah.
I'd rather get money off it than destroying it.
That shit it's gonna hurt more if that man knew that you sold his PlayStation more than if you threw it out the fucking window.
Right. But here's what I would say. I would say that instead of fixing for black people as far as being the victim is concerned, we have been victims, but we like to stick on the past instead of figuring out what we can do now to fix what has happened in the past.
Thank you, Clarence.
I know what y'all sound like.
Hmm?
The only thing I hate about that statement is slavery was in the past. Let it go.
No, you're not saying let it go
No,
though.
no. I get that, but that's what I'm hearing. I'm not. I get he's not really
All
saying.
right, let me break it down. All right. So both sides are actually kind of correct when you think about it in context.
Mhm.
Black people victimize themselves, but at the same time, they only do it because we have been victimized for so long. Because when you break it down, right, we were forced to come here, and then we built the country from the ground up, right? So in that case, we we should have a special status in the United States in that case, because a lot of shit wouldn't get done if it wasn't for the labor of black people. That's just first and foremost. Like that's why there's a whole discussion about reparations in the first place, and why we've been so anal about it for like
We
so
should
long,
get it.
because we built the foundation of this country. It was our free labor that made shit popping here. Not only that, let's talk about the cultural side of things. Most of everything in America, black people done. Like music, art, all that shit, black people.
Mm-hmm.
And when you are in a position that black people are, where like you're at the bottom of the totem pole because of sanctioned and planned political ideologies and also political actions that have been put on black people
Yep.
for like the past 70, 80 years, with all the Jim Crows and all the civil rights and all the shit that we had to, put in place just for the next generation, not even their generation, just for the next generation to have a shot, and we still in the predicament we are now. Yeah, that's yeah, you have every right to, let people know of your victimhood in the country that you're in. But at the same time, because we also have those resources, and because the foundation from the older generations have been put in place, and other perspectives have been seen, and we also have like a diverse group of black people that have been through things and that have built things, and also that have infiltrated these political spaces. We can't really rely on an older way of doing things, just like they have done when it comes to, the whole victimhood thing. So in a way, I do understand what you're saying when they say black people victimize themselves too much, because a lot of that is true. But at the same time, the fact that we are in this predicament is why it's being said in the first place. So I think it's both sides is correct to a certain degree. It's just it's just when you look at it in the proper context, then you can figure out whether you should see it in a victim standpoint or see it in a, okay, now we really got to get on our shit standpoint.
Yeah, I can understand that.
Yeah, but this situation ain't that case though. With this woman.
Yeah, I agree.
This ain't that case.
I mean, I'm just saying we have to be careful when we're saying black people victimize themselves, because I heard people, like my time in the Marine Corps gave me a different look on a bunch of white people as a whole. The majority of the ones I met, they're racist, but it's an ignorant racist, not a blatant. Not blatant.
It's like they're racist because they were born in it.
Yeah, and they don't realize it. And they don't see.
And some of that shit's funny. I'm not gonna lie.
Mm-hmm.
It depends. Like depends on who you talk to. It's really dependent on who you talk to. But
well, me personally, I'm tired of just. We are the most lazy race.
No, we're not.
Yes, we are.
No, the fuck we're not.
Yes, we are. When it comes to making, let me tell you something.
Mm-hmm.
Let me tell you something. When it comes to let's say, as far as businesses, let's start off with businesses. We will support another fucking business before I would support your business. I'll go get an A-Rap some money before I give it to you. Like that's starting. That's starting a foundation to help us instead of us pointing the finger at everybody else saying, oh, you did this, my family fought for this, we did this for this many years and stuff. But what are we doing as a community other than protesting and screaming and screaming fuck the police and Black Lives Matter? What are you doing as a community to build the foundation we have as far as being black? Remember, like when Rosa Parks wanted to make a statement, she fucked over the entire bus thing because it was a white-owned system. So with her, she proved to them that my money is just as valuable as this white man's money. Now, if we take that same mindset and stop spending money on these white-owned businesses and start spending on these black-owned businesses and these white people who basically drool over the money that we spend.
You ever heard of the theory that desegregation hurted us more than?
Yeah.
I want you to remember the reason why I said we can't say we're the laziest. Black people are like the biggest group. Believe it or not, black people are the most people in the military trying to get their life together. Black women are the most educated.
Yeah.
So therefore, that speaks volumes on getting there. Like, we're not lazy. There's some of this is a narrative. That's also the negative stuff that we hear about us is also a narrative we've been fed.
But at the end of the day,
it is a narrative we've been fed, and that one of our problems is that a long time ago, after they burnt down Black Wall Street and they stopped us from building, but they burned down Black Wall Street twice while we were trying to rebuild it, and all that knowledge of business was lost over time. And our parents, our grandparents, didn't know this knowledge, but we are, especially this generation, we are the group trying to restore that.
Yeah,
meet so many people who are trying to get into business. I'm talking to people. I mean, niggas I knew that were in the hood selling cars for fun, talking about making profitable business. Who's that dude on Killer Mike?
Yeah,
Killer Mike, Nipsey Tuck, LeBron James. I forgot
who's, but these, okay, but yes, you are absolutely correct. But let's separate the small population of our people that are trying to make a change, and let's focus on the bigger population who aren't trying to make.
Oh, you sure it's the bigger population?
It is.
Or is it just a narrative that you didn't say?
It's not a narrative, because when shit like a black person gets shot, you see all these black people having these statements, having these, oh, I feel like this, or we need to do this and we need to do that. But how many of those same people do you see actually doing this shit? I see more people who don't be on social media talking about the shit doing it than the people.
I mean, you always have people say that. Like, you just seen the picture. Remember,
like, one person I respect is 2 Chainz. I love 2 Chainz because as far as a black man and him expanding the black community as a whole, he has been one of the front people to really do that. And you don't see him talking about political situations like that. You don't see him putting his 2 cents on everything, but you see him making the effort to lead us an example. Yeah, I rap about this shit, but this is really what I'm doing outside of it. We don't pay, like, even if we don't pay attention to shit like that, because like stuff like that don't get played, it don't get value, it don't get seen. It's like, it's weird as fuck, and like we don't get seen. We don't get pushed to.
That question is also, are you looking for it? Are you not saying, because social media, remember, social media most of the time is the highlight of people's lives.
Yeah.
It's just a highlight. You don't know what a person really doing, and you know what I'm saying? You go to my page, it's nothing but black power and ratchetness.
Yeah.
But y'all know me, I'm always talking about what I trying to figure out a way to do something while I'm in school to do it. I want you to remember, even the negative, listen, like I said, the negative stuff about us is also a false narrative. But remember, a stereotype is slightly truth to it. I'm not saying there aren't people, like people out here who turn down each other, but I'm saying it on a broader spectrum. People as a whole, I think I told Ray this the other day, people as a whole, we have a problem of getting on something when it's new. Because we don't know, we have a scared thing of taking risks.
Yeah, that's true.
That's why, and I'm fighting on this because these are
narratives. Like anything.
Yeah, we can say that, but that's what it is. You know, there are people I've talked about. I met somebody older who could have got on YouTube and Google when they first started, but he was too scared to take that risk.
Now he's watching everybody else. So that's a lot of it because we don't, and then like we don't. Now we do, but at one point in time, we didn't have, as a community, we didn't motivate each other. We didn't push each other. When, like you said, when new stuff came out, anything new, anything fresh, anything that could have put up, we didn't trust it because it wasn't in our.
Another thing I want people to realize.
Territory.
Yeah, it's not in our.
Another thing I want people to realize.
We're not used to it.
Is some of this new narrative is actually brand new that we don't help, we don't do this. Because back in that day, remember, people were taking water hoses for nonviolence.
Yeah.
Water hose hit you right, can kill you.
Yeah.
Dog bites
can kill you.
On either side, how you look at it, the nonviolence worked back then. It won't work now because they know how to defend themselves against it. Why paint us as the savage in pictures? We see it all the time. That rapist, Dylan, whatever his name is, that swimmer. He got off because, you know, they always putting the white person in a nice suit and stuff.
Talking about Ryan Lochte?
Huh?
The swimmer, Ryan Lochte, or the one that raped the girl?
The one that raped the girl.
Oh, I don't know his name, but go ahead.
I know you're talking about. I can't think.
We don't need to know his name because he's a piece of shit.
I'm about to say, I can't think of his name though.
But when you ever look at stuff, they always trying to find something on a black person that has nothing to do with the issue. We can have one. I always wonder what they're gonna find. If something happened to me in the shoes, I wonder what they're gonna find on me and try to use against me. I'm a disabled vet, but they're gonna find a way. They might go back to my high school. Oh, he was suspended in high school for fighting. Remember, a lot of the negative stuff about us is just a painted picture, so we can think it and other people can think it.
Yeah.
That's agreed. I think we can all agree on that one.
So, you know, I had to argue up and down when I was in the Marine Corps with one of my corporals. He was like, I don't believe the black one. You know, I was like, but they are. I believe it. They always going for school. I remember reading an article of a black kid with dreads. Could have gotten into Harvard if he wanted to, but he rather rap. You know how many women were upset that he wanted to rap over that scholarship? There's so many. I know a black woman that's about to graduate with her master. I know one that got 2 masters. We know one that's in California, no, in California right now they get hurt masses. Black women are some of the hardest working people.
Yeah, they are. But it's
I just told you about the story of my grandfather who passed. The man, the white man that he worked for, had to sell his company
yeah,
because of my grandfather.
but look who you're talking about. You're talking about your grandfather, somebody who came from. I didn't have shit. I didn't have nothing. We literally had to build the country from bottom to top. Right now, black people are comfortable. We cannot be comfortable, man.
There's a lot of black people.
They're comfortable with what's going on right now. A lot of people.
I agree with that to a certain degree. I do agree that there is a mentality that certain black people have where they're just way too comfortable and they just want to sit down. They just want to sit down next to the white man and have tea.
Mm-hmm. They rather work at some job that's being provided for them than to create their own business.
Yeah,
You know that
It's crazy because at the end of the day, when it all boils down, it's so black people. That's what I mean when I say we're lazy, because it's so much easier for us to just brush the shit off and just move on with our life to fight for what the fuck's going on. Like, that's how we think sometimes.
You know, as somebody that's, like I said, experienced different Hispanics and white people from my time in the military, there's a lot of people like that. Yeah. I knew a Hispanic whose parents had $1 million truck company. He didn't want it. What? Because it wasn't something he really wanted. He was like, I'm gonna sell it. I'm gonna give my brothers a couple. I'm gonna divide it between me and my two brothers and call it a day. Because some people don't want that responsibility. Some people just want a normal day-to-day job so they can live comfortably. And that's not a bad thing. Everybody can't be the entrepreneur in the.
That's true too.
Yeah, that's true. But here's the thing I'm having, right? Mm-hmm. What you're saying is true that, you know, some people just want to work a 9 to 5 and live comfortably. But the issue is when black people have an opportunity to do better, they don't want to do better when it comes to other black people. But when it's a white person, they quick to take that opportunity.
They don't have a good sense of group economics.
They don't have a group. If it's going to help out another black man, they won't do it. But if it's going to be a white company that's been there for 200 years and have benefited from slavery, but it's just not public knowledge that they benefited from slavery, they'll be all up on that one.
This is the kicker right here. If you drop $20 in a room and it's a black man and a white man in there, who are you going to blame for taking your $20 first?
I hate white people say
white man.
Shut your ass up, Ray.
I blame the white man for everything. So.
I'm blaming both people.
I can see. Look, the black man can have the 20 in his hand. I'd be like, "Fuck you, whitey."
The black man trying to give you back the $20. Nah, brother. See, he been stealing for us for the last 150 years. God damn it. Yeah, but you need this 20. I'm gonna keep it in your hands. Fuck this.
But that's also part of the narrative too, Q, is the fact that we told, you know, white people are better, and that's something else we gotta, you know, that's another part on the other side of the journey.
I hate Okay. I'm sorry, I ain't mean to interrupt, but that stuff just gets me all the time. And maybe it's because of how I grew up. I'm trying to figure out, where did this rhetoric come from?
It comes from, it's like
this.
It's like
this is legitimately me asking this question, because where did this rhetoric come from that we think white people are better?
I don't know.
I would say religion.
Religion?
You think it's religion?
I say religion in the other narrative.
It's funny you say religion, because I've always thought Jesus was black.
Jesus is black.
Even when I first learned about religion, I know I see white Jesuses and like white Santas everywhere, but every time when I had a coloring book and it was Santa, I always made them black. So I see on TV that there's a white Jesus. To me, Jesus has always been black, because I read it where it says hair like wool and like skin and bronze. It's like
I don't necessarily think it's religion per se. Like the text itself is partially the images of white Jesus, I believe. But I think it's more so the media. The media always depicts white people as superheroes. They depict them as the doctor, the professor, the scholar.
They'll put blackface on everything but Jesus.
All right, Ray, you want to go to the next topic because we'll be on here for days.
You listen to Daylight freestyle.
That shit was fire. Oh my god.
That shit was fire.
Daylight. I became a fan that day.
She cut. Hey, she cut.
You know what Lupe Fiasco said?
What?
You know what Lupe Fiasco said? They put belts around our waist, but they don't make us senseis.
Woo!
Yeah, but
When I
listen,
heard that line, I was like, oh
got
my god.
people- they got these characters like Sherlock Holmes and all these other white people on TV being like important people. When's the last important black person you've seen in the media that's actually doing like noble shit?
Thank you, Clarence. That's all.
Luke
Like,
Cage.
like Black Panther's the last one you probably seen. All the other joints, they doing some ratchet shit or some criminal like shit, like on Empire or whatever.
You said the last.
Okay, I get that. I agree with you, but at the same time, those are white men that's been living in white worlds. So when they have the media and they have all the media, they're gonna put what's likely to them. Like they're not thinking of maybe I should put a black person here because obviously around that time they didn't even fuck with black people and all that stuff. Black people were to help. So I don't want to say blame them, but that was the lifestyle of them. But when we had our own, like blaxploitation and the Spike Lee movies, and even like in the 90s, where there was like black movies coming out, we put those black actors in prominent roles. Like we put those black actors in them superhero roles. Like we had I know Blake, like Meteor Man is not Superman, but that was something that led to something like Blade.
I love Meteor Man.
That was a good one. Yeah, that was a good one. But they still far and few in between, though.
As in what?
Meteor
Man.
I mean, the Meteor Man was far and few in between. You had Meteor Man, then you had. I mean, there are movies of black people in important roles, but they're far and few in between. You have to like dig into history to actually.
Yeah, but dig into history.
What about 8 Mile? What about 8 Mile? 8 Mile. Eminem would have never been nothing without Uncle Tom, nigga.
Wow.
No, but this is what I'm saying. When we had black directors like Spike Lee and John Singleton, what came out? Do the Right Thing. That was about the black, everything about the black struggle and all that other stuff. You had Boys in the Hood. It was a story about the black people in the hood. You had Just Set It Off. You had like in the 90s. When I look at like stuff with us coming up, I always envision the 90s because that's where most of our black actors and some of the black characters that we love came up in the 90s. Like to this day, Martin is, especially in the black community, Martin and the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air is considered one of the funniest shows on TV
ever. But here's my point. Here's my point though. While that is like one of the best sitcoms, comedies that was on TV, Martin was a DJ. He was a disc jockey.
That's a good job.
But he wasn't a doctor or a scientist or engineer.
But Cliff Huxtable was.
This is why that black people see white people. Well, it's one of the reasons why black people see white people.
Wasn't a doctor?
The only
Martin wasn't a doctor.
The only doctor they had. Oh no,
I'm trying to hear. Who
Bill Cosby was another iconic show, but I'm saying that you see white people in those roles in more abundant than you see with black characters or images.
You mean like a disc jockey?
Huh?
You talking about like the disc jockey role? Disc jockey role?
The disc jockey role can't compare to.
What's the show called? I know you're talking about KBC. It's Spin City. I think that was one of them, and the other one, these letters in Cincinnati, because that was about some disc jockey shit too. It had a black person in there, but that was mostly around the disc jockey. That was about a radio show. So there was disc jockeys in there too. I forgot the show, but it's like KV something in Cincinnati. That's a show about disc jockeys.
But there are shows that are degrading white people too. If y'all didn't
Yeah.
realize,
Yeah.
there are shows that
Watch Breaking Bad.
watch Shameless. That shit will change your life.
And
Like
also, the thing that I also find very interesting is that when it comes to black people and like representation, when we do representations of ourselves, we always have to have a bit of familiarity with it. That's why with Martin, when he was being a disc jockey, it kind of made sense because black people, I mean, yeah, you could do black people being scientists, you could be black people being doctors and shit. That's always going to be cool. Like, you know, Cosby did that shit with their shows where people was going to colleges and they was doing, you know, prestigious shit. But at the same time, I also think it's cool to have some type of familiarity, you know, like I don't think Martin would have been too successful if he was some boule doctor or you know with a nice ass house and shit.
Yeah,
But
no,
at the same
And
time,
even
saying that,
then, and even then, not to cut you off, and even then, at the end of Martin, he had his own TV show, and Gina was partner of a business. Like his wife was partner in one of the most high business, whatever the fuck she was doing.
She was doing
Was
advertisement.
had a partner.
She was doing advertisement.
Yeah, and she was partner.
Time out. Let's go down the line because they weren't the only ones that had a glow up. You forget Pam actually ended up getting the job that she always wanted. Tommy ended up getting the shit that he always wanted. Even Cole ended up getting the shit that he always wanted. So that TV show was all about progression as a group, as a family.
Yeah,
they all at the end of the show. The only thing bad was the fact that they was leaving and going to California. Other than that, everybody had their own life. Everybody had their own shit. Mind you, this coming from the beginning when Gina was barely doing what the fuck she could do. Martin was still in the TV show getting raped, and they still didn't know what Tommy did for a living.
and even to take it a step further, in Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, like the first episode is Will going to a big ass mansion where his aunt lives, right? So, but throughout the series, you see them emphasize how hard Uncle Phil had to work to get to where he is. There was even an episode where he admitted that he had to deal with racism, like when he was coming up too. So, like shows like that with where you know characters have that you know have either a big status or a little status, it just goes to show that we're going to go through the same struggle no matter what type of shit that we have, no matter how much money we got, no matter what status we got. We can even be the fucking president of the United States. It's not going to matter. We have to go through a lot of shit, even more shit than certain people in this country, simply because of the history and the narrative that are pushed about us. So these shows, I don't think it's just to, you know, inspire, but it's to remind us of like why are we the way we are and the perspectives of why people think the way they do too. Because in a lot of those shows, you also had Jackoon, you know what I'm saying? You also had people that went against the grain and started blank and, you know, just didn't want to help black people or didn't understand where certain black people was coming from. Like, of course, there's always going to be that. But those shows just serve as a reminder as well as an inspiration for why we go through the shit that we go through.
And then again, a lot of the shows that we did see was ahead of their time because a lot of the things that we go through now, they were, you know what I'm saying, broadcasting it on their shows then. So with that being said, it's like we gotta pay attention. A lot of these shows have a lot of meaning in it without it having meaning to it. Like small shit. Like, okay, it was an episode of The Fresh Prince when I think Ray, you remember this episode when they was pledging for the at the fraternity and shit.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about.
And the dude wouldn't fuck with Carlton because he came from a high end family.
Yeah, right? He wasn't ghetto or whatever.
Yeah.
Like shit like that. Those are messages.
To be in a club or whatever.
That's shit like that is do it now. Like we're quick to bash another man because he's trying to better himself than to try to motivate.
He's just not just like them because it's like it's like black people have like a hive. Like there's a certain group of black people who have a mostly in the inner cities. They have a group mentality where like if you don't speak just like them or move just like them, you not black or you
Exactly.
like super
Exactly.
weird or some shit.
That,
I've been going through that my whole life. They be like, "Oh, you don't talk black. You sound like a white man."
You know where I usually get that from? White people. Though.
I never heard it from white people. Well, I maybe once.
Oh, keep it
I
up.
probably heard it
The
once.
term
I
for
don't
white
think about a lot of white people.
My bad, Clarence. The term for white people is called keeping up with the Joneses.
Mm-hmm.
They do it, but it's like their shit is more subtle. Like,
Yeah.
but that's why they call it keeping up with the Joneses. Let's say like if this person got a new car, the wife would go to their husband and like, hey, so and so just got a new car. Don't you think we should get a new car? I mean, the other one's kind of raggedy and all that other stuff. And then he's like, but baby, the car runs fine and all this stuff. It's a nice running car. She's like, and she goes, I know, but I could just see ourselves in a new car. And like the person want the new car so they can show out to the other neighbors just to show they better than them. Then that's what the keeping up with the Joneses is. Or if you want to make it a more modern, Dinkelberg. Dinkelberg for the family opera. Because every time like dad wanted to do something, he wanted to outdo Dinkelberg. And then when he see Dinkelberg with some new shit, nigga get mad. He go Dinkelberg.
Hey, dang man, you just brought back a memory of hate. I swear, I was so much into the fucking the family operas that I hated Bird.
Oh, it's just. I don't think he even noticed that daddy.
Yeah, Dinkelberg is chilling. He just be living life.
He was living his best life for real.
Yeah. Okay. All right. This leads to my next question because obviously, me and Father we watched the Grapevine today, and they was talking about Monique. And I want to be real quick on this though because it includes everything we was talking about. Because they was getting on Steve Harvey real hard, and they was calling him a coon and all that other stuff because the way he got up, and the way he wanted to stay on, and all that other stuff. And I kind of want to know your opinions on that for real, because I honestly think he's cooning, and I say this all the time. I honestly think he's cooning, and everything Monique said on that show was correct. But I think a lot of people, and Father, you and me know, a lot of people was dissing the way he kind of got up because he wanted to take care of his family first. But everybody knows that Steve Harvey, he got like charities and youth centers for boys and all that other stuff. But they kind of like got him because he wanted to take care of his family first. And the way he got up is more like the ass kissing way. And I've always said this. It's like, and the guy in there, he said, I think we need to check our privilege because we got a platform where we could call him a coon. Where Steve, he had to come up the old-fashioned way. And in our generation, we don't have to go through that way if we want to. We could start a YouTube channel. We could do our own shit. We don't even have to like go through the gatekeepers. We could be the gatekeepers. How you feel about that?
Okay, let me go first because I've been waiting to talk about this shit. First of all, we know Steve Harvey is cooning, but he's only cooning is because it's 2019. This was 2003, 2004. He'll just be trying to get he'll be using the white man to get to where he want to be at. Now, things change over time based off of how we feel about white people. Granted, we always hate white people, but we hated them less when they did less shit. So at one point, it was okay for Steve Harvey to be kind of, lenient towards the white people because, you got to find your way to the top. Now, Monique, her problem was whatever she had to say and what she said, she did it in the midst of her trying to get to the top. Like she didn't allow herself to be in a certain point where she had the power to say whatever she wanted to say out of her mouth. She got to a point where she needed some people, and when she said what she said out of her mouth, the people had so much power that they snatched everything from her, and now she can't get shit. So what Steve is trying to explain to her is that if you would have waited and used what you could, if you could, it's a chess game. Maybe Steve is taking it too far with what he's doing. But what he was saying was, if you would have played the chess game correctly, you would have been in a position where you calling these people out would have been more valuable than now, because now you just seem like a bitter ass motherfucker. But
I can see that point.
But if you would have, you know what I'm saying, like I did, let me go ahead and kiss these niggas' ass real quick, because I gotta feed my family. But when I get the power to knock that shit down, I'm going to do it. No, Monique just did it prematurely. If she just would have waited, been patient, if she'd have humbled herself. That's all it takes. Humble yourself until you are overpowering your problem. Then you can go back and address that problem the way you want to. But now that she addressed it and she feels like she's been blackballed, which she is, and she's feeling like everybody's turning their head from what's going on. No, everybody else was smart enough to find where they belong, so that when they do decide to address certain situations, it doesn't affect their careers.
So, in other words, fake it till you make it.
But thank you. That's all.
Yeah.
In that, I'm about to say, in that society where Steve had to come up, that's what you had to do. Fake it till you make it. And when you make it, you can say whatever the fuck you want to say, because you already got what you need. If Steve Harvey wanted to go completely black and say fuck white people, he could, because the nigga got his own show, and they got a whole nother show, the nigga got podcasts, the nigga's on the radio, he's every fucking way. So it's not like he can't do it. That's the only problem I have with Steve, is that you have the power and you choose not to do it. The problem I have with Monique is you didn't have the power and you chose to do it.
That makes a lot of sense, actually.
It does.
It just like, if Steve could have been Monique and Monique could have been Steve, we wouldn't have been complaining, because Monique would have just been another Oprah, like basically. She'd have just been, but honestly, in all reality, let's just be real. Who the fuck gives a fuck about Monique for real? Not being rude or disrespectful, but like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you weren't that big of a figure before you did this shit. So for you to think that you're that big of a figure to be able to come out and say some shit like that, and everybody's going to just automatically.
You didn't hear her resume? You keep telling people her resume.
What resume do you have?
She got a Grammy, right?
So
she got an Oscar.
Got an Oscar. Cardi B just went and won a Grammy, my nigga. Like, that shit don't mean nothing. The fuck is an Oscar? You played a ignorant ass black woman mother, and you abused your daughter. That's how you got the Oscar. That's the same way Denzel got his Oscar. He played a crooked. He played a crooked cop. That's how he got his Oscar. The fuck? Like,
I'm gonna put cases on all you bitches.
That's Oscar doesn't mean shit, because if you're not playing an ignorant black person, and if you're not playing an ignorant black person, you're never gonna win shit. Okay?
Hey, Marshall Ali just won an Oscar.
Okay, shout out to him. It's a new era.
Have you seen that movie, The Green Book?
No.
Have you seen that movie? Okay, he's basically being escorted by the white guy. White guy's teaching him American culture.
That's it.
Really?
Yes.
Dang.
That's what that movie is.
I don't know why people hated that movie.
Let me tell you why I don't credit Monique's Oscar. Because she got one before Angela Bassett did. Like, what the fuck? Kill yourself.
Damn, nigga.
Sorry. I'm like, Bassett is 10 times better of an actor than she is. Like,
but I said that too.
Why can't they both be great?
I mean, they both can be great. My thing is, listen, hear me out, father. Monique got her Oscar for playing an ignorant black mother.
Facts.
Angela Bassett played Tina Turner. She played the mother. I mean, the mother from Black Panther. She was the old lady that got her groove back. She played fucking
Stella.
She played Stella, who got her groove back. She played the bitter wife that what's that movie? Waiting to Exhale. Like, come on. All of these good ass fucking movies where she's playing a strong black woman.
She was also the queen of Wakanda.
She was the queen of Wakanda. And she didn't win an Oscar. But Monique
time in that movie.
Shut up. But Monique pushed her daughter down the steps and threw a can at her and abused her and all that shit. And she wins a fucking Oscar and you want a high five for that shit?
Yeah.
Fuck no. Fuck out of here. You don't hear Denzel talking about that bullshit Oscar that he got because he could have been got one before that.
Well,
shit.
she was just stating that she believes she's worth her money that she asked for.
No, you ain't worth your goddamn money. Fuck is wrong with you? Oscar don't make shit.
Well, she said everything. You know, she was no better than most. I'm just saying that's how she told it.
Anytime you're negotiating, though, anytime you're negotiating, they're going to lowball you. You should already know that when you're negotiating. They're going to lowball you, and then you're going to negotiate your worth. If they're not going to negotiate your worth, you take it somewhere else where someone will know your worth.
Exactly.
And then you would get. But that's what everybody was trying to say. And then some people was like, "Oh, that is bullshit." But me and I remind you, Dave Chappelle.
Perfect.
He was also blackballed. Dave Chappelle was also blackballed. People forget this because they always bring up Dave Chappelle getting $60 million. Dave Chappelle was already blackballed, and even though he was blackballed, he still had enough money to live comfortably. But he still did shows. He still did a lot of comedy shows, and word of mouth, and people don't realize this. Word of mouth got Dave Chappelle the $60 million from Netflix that he deserved.
Facts.
People was like, and he was still selling out shows, and he would just do shows out of random and all that stuff. Dave Chappelle worked, and that's all people was telling Monique to do. You got to put work in.
He was smart enough to realize that he was being blackballed, so that when he got to a point where he was successful enough to address what really happened, he did it after he got his $60 million. That's just wait until you get the big bucks. Then you can address that shit. But don't address the shit and then expect to get $60 million from these motherfuckers after you done already talk shit about them. Like, fuck out of here, bro. Who do you think you are, bro? Learn to humble yourself. Dave Chappelle is way funnier than Monique.
Dave Chappelle is the GOAT. What's funny right now? I don't know anybody funny.
Funnier than Dave Chappelle?
Yeah.
Eddie Murphy in his prime was funnier than Dave Chappelle. Sorry.
Debatable.
I kind of have to agree with that.
Stand up, yes. Sketches, I don't know. Probably not.
No, nobody's better at sketches than Dave Chappelle. But as far
sketches
as,
probably not. Yeah.
Shut the fuck up. As far as
hold on. Father, go ahead.
Nah, I was just gonna say that like Eddie stand up just had me rolling. That was all.
Okay, go ahead, Q.
I'm about to say, as far as stand up and regular movies, like if you cast the way that he can expand his talent, like Eddie Murphy's the only person I've ever seen make a whole movie with basically just him in it. Like an entire movie where he plays different actors and he's so fucking good that he managed to play every different actor so good that you forget that it's even Eddie Murphy playing them. That's talent. And he's funny too. Like the nigga's funny as fuck. Like, how do you take like Norbit is a dumbass movie when you think about it. But outside of Eddie Murphy, anybody else that would have did that shit, it would have been a stupid ass movie.
Maybe.
But the fact that Eddie Murphy did it made it 10 times better because of his creativity and his ability to go from one person to the next person. And Eddie Murphy's the GOAT. I don't care what anybody say. Eddie Murphy's the greatest comedian to ever live.
I don't think anybody denying that though.
I would say Dave Chappelle is definitely number 2.
I'm denying it, Claire.
Yeah, because he's going to debate Dave Chappelle's greatest.
Nah, I'm fucking with you.
I say, but Eddie Murphy's the greatest. Dave Chappelle is number 2. I don't know where Kevin Hart sits, but
Kevin Hart.
I got a couple people.
And if you don't get Kevin Hart's ass out of here,
I don't think Kevin Hart's funnier than Martin. I'm sorry. Like
I think Kevin Hart's funny, but it was just like the shit that he's doing now, like he kind of don't need to be funny anymore. You get what I'm saying? Like he was
I just
funnier.
think people are tired of him.
Gina from
That
Martin
too.
and Kevin Hart to me.
God damn, bro. He said Gina from Martin.
Hold on,
Oh,
sleep. Don't sleep, because Gina was funny as fuck.
I mean, she was funny, yeah. Yeah, she was funny.
But she was funny on My Wife and Kids. Let's get that straight.
She is funny about it.
Fucking Damon Wayans, nigga. Like,
Oh yeah, Damon Wayans, yeah.
I can see,
it's better than Kevin Hart.
I wish I could see.
Yeah.
Talking with his hand expression.
I think I don't know why do you think why I know there's a lot of women like Kevin Hart. What do you think's up with that?
Because you can fit it in your pocket.
I think because he's non-offensive.
Women love niggas that cheat. The fuck?
You mean non-offensive?
His comedy is not very offensive. His comedy is mostly around how short and inadequate he is.
And his kids. And
that's probably because he's vulnerable. But no, he be calling his kids stupid. So that's a little depending on who you ask. That might be.
That's in a joking matter though. That was like
no,
you said, baby. No, that's in a joking matter, and like you don't have to take it seriously, but you know that's part of his character. Like the whole thing about him having a dumb baby. That's just like you kind of like thinking if your kid is a dumb baby or not. Because if your kid does this stuff, I don't know. I never took it seriously. I just thought it was funny.
I think at the moment it's not. I don't think the thing about Kevin Hart to me is that his stand-ups are funny when they come out, but like after time, they get tired.
Man, people say stills like pineapples killed today.
What, pineapples? No, they don't. I haven't heard pineapples in like 2 years.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I heard it the first year it came out, and year and a half after that, I was hearing pineapples everywhere. But like the jokes, like I could like, oh my god, I still remember like. Nigga, Charlie Murphy is funnier than Kevin Hart. Like, what the fuck?
Okay, now that's facts. I agree with that.
Like, come on.
Yeah, especially when you tell stories. When he tells stories, it's hilarious.
Bruh, he is what, bruh, that's, fuck the Rick James story. The fucking Prince story. Like, come on, bruh.
Bruh, no. Have you seen Dave Chappelle's last stand-up?
No.
So in one of his, so you know he got about 4 specials on Netflix,
yeah.
in two like collections, and on the first collection, one of those stand-ups he make a transgender joke, and he gets a lot of backlash for it. But Dave Chappelle comes back in the next collection, and one of those, and make more transgender jokes.
He doesn't give a fuck.
No one gives a shit. No one gives a shit.
No one gives a fuck about. Dave Chappelle made jokes about everybody. Like that's the one thing. He made jokes about black people, white people, Asian people, African people. Anytime people
That's so funny.
I think the first one he was talking about, he was at a club and the lights came on and he was talking to a transgender person, the lights came on. It was like, but there's like 3 songs left. He was like, okay, went home, had a night with it. And people start making, he was like, oh, don't make me gay. I just titty fucked it.
Yeah, Dave Chappelle is too fucked up.
But then he comes back in the next one like, you know, I really believe transgender people because, you know, they willing. I don't believe racial bias. Because what is she really doing trying to prove that she's down with the cause? Now, a transgender person, I believe them.
Yeah.
Because they wanted to cut their dick off. Just throw it here. You can have that bitch.
Yeah, basically. That's a fucking fact. But hey, y'all have to realize Dave Chappelle's a DC nigga. So, like.
Yeah, he is.
I'm about to say.
Silver Stain, if you really want to be specific. But yeah.
Yeah, but he a city nigga. He one of us in a way.
Yeah.
So he's kind of fucked up like us. You know what I'm saying? You know, DC
niggas don't give a fuck.
DC
niggas
they
really don't.
DC niggas will torture your grandmother if she look bad.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I was one of them. I feel bad.
Bro, going to a PG County school, any DC school, they will fry your ass.
Yeah. It's a rite of passage over here.
You know the hardest thing to do is the transition from a PG County school to a DC school. That's the hardest thing to ever do.
I never went to a DC school, so I don't know about that.
Yeah, you don't know.
I did when I was younger.
From one of my
That's different from PC to PG.
from one of our high school teachers, he said he'd never teach in a DC school again. Yeah, I know that.
Was that the boy?
Yep.
It sounded like some shit the boy was saying.
Because the boy was like, I love y'all. Y'all raise your hands to go to the bathroom. What I'm supposed to do when 5'4" Bama just want to walk up and walk out? I can watch y'all fight, you know. And spin guard, I gotta wait about getting shot at going to my car because somebody got their ass whooped.
Okay. All right. On a lighter note, and to change the subject, would any one of y'all smash Young M.A.?
Hell
No. Fuck no.
M.A.?
Yeah.
Why would you ask me that question?
Kodak Black,
the boy Kodak Black out here wilding.
Kodak Black come out here eat her ass or something.
Ew. I definitely wouldn't do that.
Yeah, the coochie.
Yeah, that's what Kodak Black was saying. Yeah, I mean, she got a vagina, so why can't I just smash? Like, you still a female? And I'm like, my man. That's not how that shit
speaks
works.
more about him that he would just smash anything with a vagina.
Actually, no, because he doesn't fuck dark skinned women. So
so she a light skinned dude chick. So he okay with that.
She cuffed.
light skinned dyke.
She cuffed. Just like my man Daylight say. She cuffed.
She cuffed. She cuffed. She cuffed.
She cuffed.
Okay. So this leads to my next question. Have y'all ever met a dom? Not even like a regular femme lesbian, but a dom?
No.
That y'all would like?
No.
Y'all thought about smashing?
No.
I smashed a girl who used to be a dom.
That's acceptable.
Thank you, Clarence.
I did that too, Clarence. But you know, what to piss me off, someday she'd still be in that dom mode. And she'd be like, why you don't want to be by me? Bitch, you look like a nigga. Get away from me.
Exactly. Yeah. This is one day she used to come over my house and she'd be wearing the little baggy ass sweatpants and a fucking hoodie and shit. And like, why are you always over there? Because you look like one of my niggas.
Let me tell you why I would never smash Young M.A. Because Young M.A. reminds me of Phil, a light skinned nigga with fresh hair. What the fuck?
You look like fucking Sinbad.
No.
I should put, hey Red, you should put a picture right here so people can see how I look. Take one of my good pictures.
Oh my god.
Oh, my nigga.
Flash it like 2 seconds.
Nigga. I seen the post, y'all, when they put Young M.A. face on the hippo body from Madagascar.
Yeah, actually, yeah. I can see that. That.
Hey, yeah. And then they had the other part. It was like I think Motu likes you, and it's a picture of Kodak Black in the water. Hey, bullshit. Hey, all serious note, we should all be looking at Kodak Black a different way because.
First of all, I was never a fan of Kodak. Let's be real. Never a fan of Kodak.
Pull up on the board.
And that, I don't know. I understand. I don't call him dumb. I just like, but he obviously doesn't have the English tongue. Like that nigga ratchet as fuck. So I can barely understand him. You can barely complete a sentence. But like him, not like a dark skinned woman, because you know that's my preference. And I get it. You have a preference and all that other stuff. But that one kind of like made me side eye him. And him and Gucci, he still support Gucci, made me side eye him. I don't know. I kind of look at Kodak Black as a coon. I don't know.
I get next.
Look, I get next.
Nah, because that fucking fool said that he don't like dark. He prefers light skinned women because they're more feminine. Remember he said that?
Yeah, he did say that. He said dark skin.
So how the fuck is this dom more feminine?
Hey, can I tell y'all something?
What?
I can give 2 fucks about what Kodak Black talking about because I'm about to go home to a dark skinned woman. The fuck is wrong with that dude?
Q gonna eat some ass, y'all.
No, I'm not going to eat no ass this morning. I mean, this night.
He said not this morning.
Not this night. I ain't eating ass this night. I'm about to go buy her some pineapples and
Pineapple.
nah, I'm about to let her chill. She gotta go to work in the morning.
All right, so nobody here would smash Young and May. So
No, bro. I would pick Young and May to be on my team to play basketball.
Yeah.
Right, no
that's
bullshit.
Daylight said.
I think pictures of her when she was still girly. You said that Young MA, I would have told you yes, but we talking about current MA for the past like probably 10 years of her life. No, you can have it.
Nah.
All right.
Missy
Now moving
Elliott.
on. Now moving on to the next topic. What did y'all think about the Jess Hilarious situation about her and her kind of rant against Muslims, the
All
sheets
right.
or something like that?
So here's my thing.
When she profiled those two Muslim dudes on the plane,
Yeah, more of them, and yes.
there
Hey,
was more of them.
I got to peel off y'all. I love y'all. I appreciate being on this podcast. Ray, I'm gonna hit your phone when I get in the house. Phil, you can kiss my ass.
I'm not gay, but okay.
Oh no, you freaky. You in the you in these freckles, man. I gotta worry about
another girl, man, to kiss your ass. I don't know what it is.
Hey, fuck you. Hey, goddamn.
All right. Anyway, where were we?
So I was just about to say, like, the whole Just Hilarious situation. I never seen so many off cold Negroes in my life. So here's my thing. Ain't nobody saying what she did wasn't wrong. Ain't nobody saying here trying to say, oh, like, we're supposed to, be better than that. Ain't no one saying all that. What I'm trying to say is black people, like, we gotta stop showing off for other groups just because one of ours.
Yeah.
Like, I hate that shit. It's like, yeah, we understand ain't no one supposed to do that shit at all. But my point is, if it was a white person that did it, you're not gonna see a whole bunch of white people talking about we condemn this behavior because it is not befitting us. Like, no, they're not gonna do that towards other groups because they already done know their position. They already done know their status here. So when black people go off the hook talking about Just Hilarious is canceled, I don't like how she did that shit because if it was other groups and Martin Luther King didn't die for this and start getting into all that. And I'm looking at you like, bro, what the fuck is you even talking about? Now it's not about Just Hilarious. Now you're over there trying to fucking show how many crumbs you can fit in, how many butter biscuits and how many crumbs you can fit in your damn mouth at that point. Because if we're gonna correct somebody in our community or like in the black community or whatever, we need to do it in house. And I was just saying this shit earlier, and that's what I was also trying to explain to Kayla. You can criticize and you can hold people accountable. That's in your group, but do it in house. Don't do it where other people can see you, and don't do it to give other people ammunition to further chastise and oppress your ass. But it's like a whole bunch of black people don't understand this. And by black people, I'm not even talking about the general people. There's two types of black people I'm talking about. There's the black feminists, because they're notorious for doing that shit, being off code.
Oh yeah.
And to a lesser degree, some of the black LGBT. A lot of the black LGBT are on code, but there's certain ones that go off the script and try to all lives matter this shit, as if those white gays aren't being racist over there themselves. So it's like, where is really your allegiance? And then you're gonna get that argument talking about, I can't do black first. I'm black and gay, or I'm black and a woman at the same time. And I'm like, I mean, yeah, you can do that,
but you still black.
You still black. You know what I'm saying? You can hide your sexuality. You can't hide being black. And I don't care what no one say about any of that. You can hide your damn sexuality. There was a closet for a reason. There was a closet for a reason. You weren't talking about, there were no black folks talking about, I'm in the closet. No, you can't hide this skin color here. And that's not even to shit on the LGBT. But what I'm saying is, there is a difference. There ain't no intersectionality when it comes to race and sexuality. There is no intersectionality. All right. You can put your gay ass in the closet. I can't. I'm black forever. I can't hide this skin color. No matter how much bleach I use, no matter, this shit is hard coded. You feel what I'm saying? Your gayness could be hard coded, All I'm saying is you can put a blanket under it. I can't.
Under it or over it?
What'd you say?
This blanket you speak of, do you mean over it or under it?
Yeah, under it. Yeah.
Under it. Okay.
You can cover it, basically.
Yeah, but he said under it, but the cover, I'm just being technical. I know what you meant.
Don't make me bring you back in here.
Clarence, what do you think?
Huh?
What do you think about the Jess Hilarious situation?
She was racial profiling though, but I ain't gonna just go hop on. You know how I do. I ain't hopping on nobody else's causes like that. Not to that degree. People was like furious and mad and cussing her out and shit, and hounding her. That's not really my fight. That's not my plight. The whole Muslim community, they fight their own shit.
They're not Muslims, by the way.
Well, they were Muslim. They was what were they?
They were Sikhs.
See,
What religion are they?
They're like Indian. Yeah, they're like Sikh. They're not Muslims.
Oh, so they look like Hindu or something more so?
No.
Yeah. Well,
Maybe
it's hard to explain. They're like their own little shit.
They their own thing. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. She was racial. She was profiling based off of the head.
Yeah, and I think the issue was that she called them Muslims. I think that was the issue.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
She called them Muslim, and the way she reacted.
Yeah.
But the thing what people had to get wrong, people were getting wrong, is that she got them put off of the flight, which she didn't.
Yeah, she didn't. That's what. Yeah, because how she was talking, she was saying, "I told y'all," and I ain't even. And then all of a sudden, they took everybody off the plane, and then they didn't get back on the plane. That's what she was saying.
I think she fucked up is in that second video where she tried to defend herself a little too aggressively. And one thing some black people do is always saying people only attack me because I think differently than them. Everybody thinks differently than somebody. It's not a whole thing. It's all about backing your claims right and make sure
your facts are straight.
Say again?
Making sure your facts are straight.
Make sure your facts are straight. And just one thing I notice everybody have a problem with is that everybody thinks they're right. Not too many people cannot be wrong in this. That's Republican, Democrat, liberal, black, white, saying, Soul Reaper.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie to you. For the first thing I thought of when I saw this, and everybody kind of like harping on Jess Hilarious, first thing I thought of, niggas act like 9/11 never happened. And like, if this was around that 9/11, yeah, everybody would have been saw them four sheiks and thought they were Muslim and all that other stuff. Niggas get Muslims and sheiks. They get that shit mixed up all the fucking time. Niggas, that's what I said. Stop acting like y'all really know the difference. Because if you put them in line, you will all call them Durka niggas. And I know.
You call them sand niggas?
Yes, you call them sand niggas. You call them Durka. Like, I was in Dubai or around Dubai, and everybody on our ship, because we had to get the Mountain Dews and most of the sodas from there. And let me tell you, their sugar is so different than American sugar. And so every time when we got stuff, it's like we called it Durka Cola or Durka Mountain Dew or some shit like that. That's the name we had for it. It's wrong as fuck, but that's what we was calling them. So that's the one thing. And two, I've said this before. If I didn't ever work at Pizza Bowlies with a bunch of Muslims, I'd be just like Jess Hilarious. And so that's why I'm not harping on it either. But at the same time, like, and I know she said she had Muslims in her family, and she like teach me. And I said this: do you really want to learn? Because if you really should know the difference, if they're in your family. And honestly, I know some people don't really give a fuck. But
Muslim is like a religion. We talking about like the ethnic part.
No, yeah, but that's what I'm saying though. If anybody else saw them four motherfuckers walk on a plane, y'all would probably had that same reaction. And like, especially if this was like around 9/11, y'all had that same reaction like Jess. I feel like a lot of people would have done what Jess Hilarious did. But it's the fact
Not
that I think
excusing it,
the fact that
but
Jesse is acting on it.
so right, what are you saying is everybody's being hypocrites right now because they probably would have reacted the same. But you're
Yes,
not excusing what she did, but gotcha.
yes, I'm not accusing what she did, and that's what I said. If I didn't work at a
A
piece
matter
of
of
bowling
fact,
like Buck and Red, I'd just like that's hilarious too.
Y'all
So
remember y'all remember at a college on the little daily parking thing? The little daily parking attendant.
yeah,
One day I was talking to him and he was like, I offered him a bottle of water or something. I can't remember what it was, and he was like, I'm fasting. And him of his background, like you said, I immediately assumed he was fasting because it might have been Ramadan or something. I didn't know the months. But you know what he was? He was Christian. He was only fasting for health reasons.
yeah, Chris was fast too.
No, I'm just saying, I'm adding to your thing. Like, I assumed that he might have been Muslim from the way he talked, from his accent.
Yeah. Oh no, I get you. So anybody else got something to say on the Justice Hilarious situation?
I just feel like it's like I said. I just feel
that's
like
what
black people just need to be on code when it comes to that because they won't have the same energy when it's one of theirs that's coming for us. And I also saw a whole bunch of people talking some slick shit about black folks talking about. I saw one person that was like, "See, black people can be just as racist as white people too," and I'm like, "Oh, see, that's what happens when you get off code. They start saying slick
nah,
shit like that, and because Just Hilarious is the face, you know what I'm saying? It can be justified.
we
So
cannot.
like, ugh.
We cannot oppress Muslims because we do not even have the economic power that Muslims have. Arabic. Well, I'm gonna call them. I hate saying Muslim because I could turn Muslim tomorrow if I decided to.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna say Arabic. Like we can't economically oppress Arab people either because they are a higher power than we are, economic power than we are too,
Mhm.
That's right.
and they have enslaved us. I've read that they still have black slaves in a certain part of the world.
They having
So
black women. They shitting on chests of black women.
I
They
believe
paid
it.
them. They paid them.
They pay them too. Yeah, I
Yeah,
heard
they
about
paid.
that. I heard something like that, but it was like women in general. But I believe that they do it for black women too. They they're the motherfuckers that be having pet tiger pets, right? Is that in Dubai?
I think so.
Yeah. They be doing all types of shit with their money. Them
Uh,
motherfuckers have so much money they don't give a fuck.
countries. Any one of those rich Arab countries. Yeah, they be doing that.
Mm, yeah. Rich ass motherfuckers. That's happened when you too damn rich.
Arab money, baby.
Okay, the last thing I want to talk about is about the WrestleMania build up. And I wanted y'all opinions on how do you feel about the WrestleMania card was looking like and how the build up. How do y'all feel about it?
My only real thing that I have to say is Baron Corbin versus Angle. Who? Why? Why?
I
I
don't
feel
think
like
that's
it's still
going to stick.
curve.
I do not think that's going to stick.
I hope it doesn't. I really,
I don't
bro.
think that's going to stick.
I really, really hope it doesn't because that has got to
Um,
be one of the worst bookings I've ever seen when you have something so obvious. You know what I hate about WWE sometimes? They will have something that'll work so obviously and then fuck it up.
Mm.
They just fuck it up for no reason. And it's like the
yeah,
most
they do have a
obvious thing
history.
is like what everybody wants is like what every fan is saying for like months and months and months and just fuck it up.
I feel like there's gonna be a curve. John Cena's gonna come out there, tell Coleman, take your punk ass to the back. Then he wrestles Kurt.
I'm praying that happens. That needs to happen. Actually, I'm praying that
I'm
that
gonna be
happens.
honest. I wish Kurt didn't have it. I mean, WrestleMania here, and I guess who Kurt is. But I'm be honest. Kurt is my favorite technical wrestler of all time, next to Chris Benoit. But
I was a Bret Hart fan myself, but
I like Bret Hart too. I'm just saying, Kurt was always good, but dang, I forgot what I was going before you said Bret Hart thing. Oh, you can tell, and that's probably why he's retiring. He can't move like that. I mean, the man that had like 30 neck surgeries and a tumor in it. So
Yeah, that last match with Chad Gable, my man was really. I don't want you. He looked like he tried to do double the amount of work for stuff he used to do when he was younger. Like it looked like it took him twice as much strength for him to do that.
I mean, yeah, but also when I see Kurt in the ring, I like it. He's in a weird spot where he can still wrestle. It's just not as fluid. So because of his age, so it's like it's better now to retire than just try to Goldberg the shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree with that.
Because
So yeah, I think of this Kofi Kingston storyline that they're
I'm,
building.
I'm loving it.
I'm also loving it.
I
Yeah.
know in the wrestling group we in, somebody's like, "Why couldn't Kofi win today?" And I'm like, I think it was a good curve at the end. And this is another thing that irritates me. People say they want the Attitude Era back, but they complain about this storyline. Vince is, back in Attitude Era, he was screwing people left and right for their championship opportunities, especially Stone Cold. The Attitude Era off with him, you know, real life screwing Bret Hart, but it's also a rumor that was all a setup too. That was all K-Fed too. But
To me, this is their best story. I think their best story before was obviously Becky, Ronda, and Charlotte, because I already knew that was going to be a triple threat match, and I think for some reason that story kind of fell off, but they're still trying to like stumble to the finish line with that one. And that one's been kind of like, all right, I'm just waiting for the match right now. But with the Kofi storyline, I've been so like, and they've been building it up for just as long. Um, and you can tell like
the
the
run has
excitement.
probably been longer because remember that started around Survivor Series.
Yeah, the Ronda was but usually, but it's because of Becky Lynch that I feel like the story is even stumbling to the end because Becky is like keeping that story alive, and she is probably the most popular wrestler right next to Kofi right now. And I feel like the Kofi story, I don't want them to fuck this story up because right now they're at a place where um, that because obviously last Tuesday SmackDown, like that was perfect. I don't like that was perfect. Like even the screw job at the end where he had to face Daniel Bryan and he lost. That was perfect. You like I feel like from this point they have to do something or they'll end up fucking it up. And I'm hoping they don't fuck this up by the end of WrestleMania.
You know what? You're right, Ray. But I'm just sitting here thinking, I'm gonna miss much as sometimes I can't stand Vince and think he out of touch. But I'm gonna miss Vince because this storyline wouldn't be nothing without him, to be honest. I don't think you can put Stephanie McMahon there. I don't think you can put Shane, Triple H without Vince being the dick that he is. I don't think it would have worked right.
I can agree with that.
Yeah, I can agree with that too.
But
You guys anything to say about that, Wallace?
Um, so yeah, I agree with what both of y'all said. I think the Kofi Kingston storyline is going on great. Did y'all catch the backstage backlash that they put on YouTube?
Yo,
yeah,
that was so great.
The way that Xavier and Big E was so heated, like I was like, bruh, like this is gold. Like this is actual gold. Like
Yeah, like they're really selling the piss. Like they're
yeah,
really selling this.
they're really selling this, and like I'm actually invested. Like It's been a long time since I couldn't wait for the next week. It's been a very, very long time since I was like genuinely like, couldn't wait for the next week.
I feel like the last couple Raw and SmackDown been pretty really good. Like all three shows is having me tuning in, wanting to tune in. Or is that just me?
Yeah, man. This WrestleMania, I feel like this WrestleMania in itself, there's going to be like 2-3 matches that we all going to be waiting for. And you know the matches like Shane McMahon versus Miz and fucking Randy Orton versus AJ Styles. I feel like those could be sleeper hits too. It's just that on paper, Shane McMahon versus the Miz doesn't sound great. It kind of sounds like last minute. You know what I mean?
Well, it's a Shane McMahon name, but we know in the past couple of times he's been in matches. Like when he came back and wrestled AJ Styles, that surprised us.
But I mean, it was a fun little match though. No, what you feel about Shane McMahon? He puts on some like fun matches.
He was who was he trained by? I think he said Randy was one of the people who trained him. But yeah, Shane is actually putting on some decent matches when he can. But AJ Styles is also known as the buffer because he can make anybody better.
Yeah, AJ Styles is just that good. So, and Randy Orton, and it's like I said, Randy Orton versus AJ Styles is a dream match. Like that's actually a dream match because if you think about what they was doing in their primes, because I feel like I still think AJ Styles is in his prime, but it's like in the slope of his prime. Like he's starting to slow down just a teeny little bit. You won't be able to really notice, but the shit that he was doing back in like 07 and 08, it's very telling. Which is like a 10-year gap, which is fine. That happens naturally. But you know what I'm saying? If this match was booked, AJ Styles versus Randy Orton, if this match was booked like 2010, 2011-ish, it would have been one of the greatest matches of all time. I still think it has the potential to be a really good fucking match right now. But if it was back then, it would have been great. And Triple H versus Batista, I might skip that. I might just watch the entrances and fucking skip that shit. Because I don't think it's going to be good. But Triple H is going to flop around in the ring, and Batista's going to be yelling at him the entire time.
It's going to take about 15 minutes to get real good.
Yeah. You're supposed to be my friend! That shit.
Okay.
How the hell do you donate your uterus? I'm sorry, I just saw the...
I don't know. I don't have a uterus, so I don't know how to donate.
Is she a surrogate? I don't.
Are you looking at surrogate mothers?
I don't know. It was just an article. I looked down at my phone to refresh on Facebook, and that's the article that it refreshed to, and I'm like, oh, okay. But
okay, this is the last one I kind of want to talk. Because Wallace, I saw your Facebook comment where they was introducing Jackie Briggs, and like you said, the first 10 comments were "nigga bitch."
Damn,
bruh. I was watching the Twitch feedback too, and I was just rewatching it, and you know how they have the chat like on the side that's recorded whenever they're when you're replaying the streams. So I was watching that shit too. I usually close the chat because I know how they be, but for some reason I just had it open, and there was a whole bunch of people saying nigger and nigger bitch and get this nigger bitch off the screen. This is boring and all. And I'm like, God damn! If y'all don't like the character, then nigga mute or like go somewhere else. But I found it very telling. It was just a whole bunch of them that was just saying nigger bitch this and saying n-word this and n-word that. And these are white people. The little white kids saying this shit because black people we don't. If you really think about it, we only say nigga amongst each other. You know what I'm saying? But
we don't say nigger bitch.
Yeah, we don't say.
Except for that one video that Clarence, you remember, was old black dude. He was going off of black people, and he's like, "I especially you nigga bitches. I hate you, nigga bitches."
Yeah, I remember that.
That except that dude. That dude was funny. But go ahead,
He said,
Juan.
"I hate you niggas, and especially you nigga bitches."
but like I was just saying, like I'm not like at this point when it comes to Twitch and like the gaming community in general, I've been saying this like for a long ass time. It's gotten to a point where like I don't even care anymore. It's like I'm like numb to it now, and not that I wasn't numb to it before because I always heard it. But like at this point, the fact that they're so blatant about it, it just further proves my point that the gaming community is racist as fuck. And I find it so funny how I keep saying this, and they get mad at me when I say it. And I'm like, am I saying something that's false? You're not gonna sit there and tell me the gaming community ain't racist. You just not because
How old? Hold on a second. How old do you think the people are that's saying this? How old do you think they are? You think they're grown adults, or you think they like teens or something? 'Cause I have.
Oh,
No, no, no.
I think there's some grown ass motherfuckers in there.
Well, about a year or so ago, there was a Twitch streamer who got kicked off his team because he got mad and made like chink eyes with the little like slanted eyes. Chink is still a racist word, but he got mad and like did his eyes a certain way when he got pissed. Like, and I'm not gonna say, you know, it's also homophobic. You know, I've been called gay before too, or faggot, but you know. Mixed grown ass.
Oh no, there's definitely some grown ass motherfuckers in there.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think all ages do that, from little kids to like grown folks.
Kids are doing it just because.
Get behind that screen is, and you know nobody's gonna find you. Yeah, I think anybody
Yeah.
does.
Yeah, until you fuck with a hacker, and next thing you know, he DDoS your ass.
Yeah, but I mean, he a hacker. He won't see you with them hands though.
Yeah, but you can't play your video game. You're gonna wish you never DDoS.
I mean, yeah, you got a point. You definitely got a point there. But that's what I'm saying. Like the fact that they have to resort to that means they really not about that life. They only about that life online. So
No,
it's like,
I'm talking about the hacker getting the one.
Oh, a lot of people about their life online.
Oh yeah,
A
but
lot of
yeah,
these people who be arguing on the internet, I see them in person. They either don't say shit or they act like they friendly as shit. Like all that raw. What's all that rah that you was doing online though?
I remember these.
Because I'm looking at you. I'm looking dead at you, and you looking off somewhere else, like you don't see me. I ain't scared. They motherfuckers be scared as shit and a bunch of fucking.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think that the nerd community all around is fucking toxic.
yeah.
Not all around, but I go to these conventions and I be listening to like nerds, especially these little thing that black nerd females and black nerd males got against each other. That shit is toxic as fuck.
Oh my god. Oh, that's a topic right there.
Okay.
We should do it. You still got
I'm about
time?
to say, y'all want to get into it?
Huh?
I don't know much about it. I don't be in them communities like that.
Nah, all right. So here's the thing, right? Real quick. Here's the thing.
I probably do see it.
I feel like it's both sides because you got the black man, you got the black nerds that are like, oh, black girls don't like me. You know, I'm not this or I'm not that. So the little white girls that be fetishizing their ass because they black or whatever, they take that as, oh, she genuinely likes me. And then they roll with it. Or like some little Asian girl that hasn't been in the United States more than 5 years. They like to do that shit too. Then you got black girl nerds that you know, they start getting into cosplays and shit, and they be getting even way more fetishized by these white nerds and shit like that. That say, "Oh my god, this is so exotic! Like you look so hot and shit like that." And they know they're gonna get the pussy because the the attention that they're giving like the black girls that they didn't get from like most of the niggas, because the black girl nerds they mostly go for niggas, but the niggas don't be checking for them because that shit weird. So the white guys, the white nerds, you know, give them that attention and shit, and you know they start, you know, now there's a thing where there's Patreon and shit now, so you know it's all over IG, and then they got their little cash apps, and they donating all because it's like a fetish thing with them, And then you also one thing I've also started to notice within both of those groups with black male nerds and black female nerds is they're starting to get more kinky with it now. So like they get into the whole BDSM type shit. And like, what the fuck is going on?
You know what? I remember one of those popular little cosplay chicks. She posted something like that. She always talking about niggas talking about she must only date white men. And then she like posted like 5 different conversations from an inbox. Like, hey, my ebony chocolate princess.
Exactly.
And I think the worst one I saw and it was like, I want to ram my white cock in your nigga pussy. Like,
Oh yeah, I saw that joke right there. Yeah.
Oh God.
she like, no, like, nigga, it's like, so they even really like you said, say the fetish and stuff on the point where it's like ebony chocolate princess, like, nigga, what? Or it's just blatant racism fetish, like, yeah. They probably talk. I can imagine how some of the white people talk. You know, black people like, yeah, I got some white bitches. They probably be like, yeah, I got this nigger bitch. I can't.
Yeah,
That's why
I have to see me.
That's why I'm like, I be kept. I know Kayla hate it, but that's why I be scared when she date them little white dudes. You don't know what they really doing.
You know me. I can't get a black nerd girl to save my life. I have more luck. I have more luck with like just regular chicks from the hood before I have any luck with these nerd joints out here.
You know what?
Yeah.
I do sometimes,
I feel like if I date if I date a like a nerdy black girl, she need for her nerdiness, she need to have some ratchetness to balance it out. I can't have you full nerd.
Yeah.
I like a girl black with a little bit of ratchet, nerdy with a little hit of ratchet.
Yeah,
right.
And I like it medium ratchet.
Medium. He said medium ratchet.
you know what I'm saying. Like I feel like that's like the best balance because it's like us. Like yeah, we're nerded up with anybody. Like we can hang with the nerds and all that shit. But like we got that ratchetness in us to balance it out, so it's not like full on cringe. You feel
It's not full on. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like
I play League too.
Like,
Yeah.
being a nerd, like being a nerd is kind of cringy because of like all the not even like the stereotypes, but like the shit that we into, like to the general eye, it's like weird. So on top of that, the fact that these motherfuckers internalize it and start acting like the thing that they love so much, it's like, oh brother.
Oh, I dated one of those in fucking college. That shit was annoying. She kept start saying "I love you" in Japanese. I was like, "What?"
No,
yeah,
I was like, "What?" I'm sorry, I ain't watching enough sub. I don't know what that means.
Yeah, that some people. I think when you're into something, like you get into something, you can be into a culture, but to the point. But if you're into a culture to the point where you only want to date that culture, that's fetishizing to me.
Yeah, that's actually what it is. It's fetishizing.
That's what that go back to my point when I say when they see these constant images of other races, they start seeing them as what's the word I'm looking for? They start seeing them as superior entities.
Yeah, I mean, that is how it is because like you will have someone who's so into anime to the Ray. We know somebody like this. They're so into anime to the point where they fucking start talking like them. They start everything in Japan is better than America. Manga's better than fucking comics. Japanese food is better than American food. The Japanese are way more cultured people than American.
When they start calling me Ray-san or Ray-san,
I'm not gonna do that a little bit, not a lot.
But you do it as a joke. Them niggas do it.
They'll actually sit there and call you son.
Motherfuckers be bowing at people and shit.
I bow because I did martial arts. Don't do that to me.
Okay, that's discipline. Again, that's discipline.
I
That's martial
I
arts.
fucking around, Ray. I do.
That's martial arts. That's different. Them motherfuckers be bowing to people no reason.
No. Yeah.
Like,
Lord.
I don't know.
But I hear the the nerd black girl say that the black nerd girls, they say that black guys don't be checking for them.
And the nerd
Too.
black guy do the same thing. But they
That's
don't be.
why I say they both retarded.
They don't be
I
checking.
be checking for black nerd girls, and they don't give a fuck.
Exactly.
I think is they're not checking for the. They want those.
The swagged out dudes.
They want the hood girl. They look at more of the hood girl than anything. They're not actually looking at the other nerd girl. Some of them.
Maybe not. I don't know.
I don't think they are. They just I don't know how to explain it. But also
Nerdy Black Girl is the reason why I did my documentary. The reason she was the exact reason why, because she was like blaming black people for black men for everything, and then she was just like we're the destruction of the black community and all that other stuff, and she had a white man on her, and I said, "Whoa." I said, I'm gonna need you to slow your roll. And then I think because of the way she was acting, it made me do the documentary that obviously two or three people on this panel is actually in. That's yeah. So yeah, that's one thing I would say about the nerd culture. It got me to do my documentary.
I got to do some research on that because I really don't know if black male nerds blurs. I don't know if male blurs are really checking for blurred females for real. I don't really know. I know I am, but that's me.
People that say this, sometimes it's the way they carry themselves and how they dress. You know, we shouldn't be judging people like that, but honestly, the way you dress kind of plays into how you take care of yourself. You can tell how a person take care of themselves.
No, let's be real. Some nerds cannot dress.
At
They don't know
all.
how to do.
At all.
They don't know how to do. They don't know how to do, and they don't know how to talk to women.
I'm talking about just keeping your clothes up, keeping your clothes nice, or dressing to your body type.
Yeah, this is what I'm saying.
Yeah,
they don't.
Like I think Ray, you're the only one that want to believe me. But every time I bring her up, other people look at me like, "Oh, you weird."
Every time you do what now?
Vicky, every time I talk about Vicky can be a beautiful woman, but it's the way she dressed and carry herself that turns people off. You remember Vicky Clarence?
Vicky?
I don't think you ever seen her.
You ain't ever seen her? Okay.
I don't think you ever seen her.
Yeah, probably.
Wallace would disagree. I agree because I feel like every girl deserves a chance. It's just, and I've seen her at an awkwardness, niggas look at her. Even with her awkwardness, like people don't look at her. So I will agree with you. That's why I say I agree with you. Like, Father, remember when we caught Ziggy looking at Vicky's ass?
That boy was in a trance. That boy was stuck on headlights.
But I'm not just saying, but it's on the male and female side. I don't want to seem like just saying one. Both sides.
No, the one time, okay, Father, remember the one time I complimented Zachary? No, Zachary had this one shirt that the collar was like to his damn chest, and you can see his top on me. And I told him never to wear that shirt again. You done ran the fucking collar. And then like next week he had a nice ass shirt, and I said you should dress like that more often because you look really clean, and that put a big ass smile in his gap teeth.
Damn.
You know what he did that kind of fucked it up? He wore that same shirt that I said he was cleaning every other day.
Oh,
damn.
Zachary, have you ever seen this? I'm sorry, bro. But
I mean,
I've given you
yeah, it's an improvement.
I remember reading the article. Like, you can influence people. Like, I think it was a experiment in a science class or a psychology class to see how many more people they can get to wear red. So they only complimented people who wore red, and the more they complimented people who wore red, the more people wore it. Even affected the teacher. As he went to one side, the class got like quiet, but when he got to the other side, he got louder. So he stayed on that side more.
Hmm.
I can see that happening.
Much as we harp on negative, sometimes you give people positive too.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, we do talk like people do talk about negatives too much. They more than they talk about positives anyway.
I
Yeah,
agree, and
What,
but I
what, what
feel like
happened? It sounded like somebody got cut off or something.
it was Phil.
I don't know what
Oh,
happened
okay, okay. But yeah, like I was saying, people focus too much on negative shit, especially on social media.
there. Mhm.
So instead of talking about the negative all the time, talk about what you do like.
Like you in this whole ass picture up here.
But I feel like with the negative shit, we've also had solutions. Like we stay having solutions because we've like they we not gonna sit there and act like we ain't tell these motherfuckers to start dressing a little bit more. We especially ain't been sitting here quiet when we telling these motherfuckers take a goddamn shower.
Oh, I made a
That's for
post
damn
about
sure.
that. I made a post about that today. I was like, y'all motherfuckers at these cons. I be walking past y'all. Y'all be smelling sour.
Somebody say if you got enough money for a con, you got enough money for soap. Dad,
No bullshit.
That's true. Oh, and
No bullshit.
Stu, the documentary is called Black Community. Where Are We Going? I'll send you a link when I get the chance. There's someone that typed in my comment section, by the way. Um, but
look at
yeah,
you. You got one loyal fan that tunes in. Wasn't Stu here last week? Thank you, Stu.
yeah,
For tuning in.
consistent. We growing out here. All right. So now I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this podcast up. And as always, we're gonna have the final word. And I'm starting with Phil.
My name is First Black Ginger. Damn it.
First Black Ginger. Would you like
Yeah.
as First Black Ginger? Would you like to first sign us off?
I love black people, especially the black women. They're so amazing. I got too many. I got about 5 crushes in the world. Some I can't get because like one is a Marla Negra. Um, but we got to come together and stop feeding into the narrative that we've been fed, the good and the bad. Yeah, there's some good narrative we shouldn't focus on too much, but let me rephrase this. Let's focus on the good more than the negative. Let's start debunking the horrible negatives. Like we don't support each other. We don't. We're lazy because we're far from that. I
We don't
believe.
drink green tea.
We don't drink green tea. And Coffee Mania.
All right, Clarence.
What you asking me?
Your final word.
Final words is
But okay.
blurs need to get together and live a blurred life. Stop hating on each other. Stop fetishizing these white and Asian dudes and chicks. And let's make some sci-fi stories. We'll start working together. That's all.
All right, Father.
So my final words is take a fucking shower when you go to these cons, please. Because you can't be representing the race and be stinking like that. Black people don't stink. You better get it together. You can't be black and then stink like that. Come on.
I be flexing when I go. I be flexing.
Exactly. Like,
Don't
bro.
I, Raymond? Don't I be flexing, Raymond?
Yeah, he was flexing. And so do father.
Shut up, Ray.
You know what? Hey, Clarence, to be honest, I told Ray maybe we should have went to that party you went to because that rave was dead.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Raves, man. The raves. I've been stopped going to those raves. I've been going to hotel parties. Them joints be lit sometimes, depending on which ones you go to, especially the ones with the ones that be having the DJs in there.
Mhm.
Yeah, I probably
I
need to
know.
start
Ray
going to
said
those hotel parties. I just be going to the raves and fucking up the circles, the dance circles. Everybody gets
Oh
scared.
yeah.
But yeah, take showers to black nerds, male and female. Is both of y'all damn fault with y'all musty asses.
I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna lie though, but I be smelling like it could be some females, but I be smelling a lot of them dudes,
It be
especially them white dudes.
Ooh.
They need to wash their ass. Wash your ass.
Oh man.
That shit be. I was like, God, I be smelling. I be look back. I'm like, God damn, I got a whiff of that shit. What the fuck? I like you. You do know there's whammons here, right?
When
Yeah,
This
like you
whammons here.
fucking shit. No, but I'm not even gonna lie though. I be kind of happy when I see an undesirable female and she cuffed by an undesirable dude. I'm like, that's all I ask. Let the undesirables cuff the undesirables. I don't want
Yeah.
to see like the last thing I want to see, and I've actually seen this in a con before. Fine ass beautiful black woman with some undesirable ass white dude because it's the fucking nerd community. I hate that shit.
Yeah, I see that a couple of times.
Yeah, I be seeing that and I'm like, why? Like nigga, I know I look better than this dude. I know
Like, what's wrong with me?
everything's wrong with you. First of all, you
No,
smell bad.
know why? You know why, Father? Because he up there buying her candy and putting money in her cash app.
Jesus Lord.
He put my yeah. Like be job like chauffeuring and dudes.
Like I can give you cash up on your shit. It's not gonna be for free. It's not gonna be because you attractive. Like, be humble. There's 7 billion people on this earth, and you want
I'm
someone
Right.
that's cute.
kind of old school. I mean, it's not gonna be no random chick I don't know, but if it's a chick I'm interested in, I might slip her $40 for the fuck of it. I mean, but that's because I like gift giving.
Oh nah, nigga. If you want $40, you better do something for me. Nothing for free.
Yeah, this girl tried to pull that shit in Facebook inbox. She was like, she needs some money. I was like, so what you gonna do?
Yeah, what you gonna do?
What you gonna do?
Nah, yet again, I said I'm old school, and I gotta
Like
be
I
all
need
right, interested in her. That's some random chick I don't know. Oh, she cute. Let me drop her $40. I don't know her. What? Get out of here.
like
You know what I'm saying?
if I'm just gonna be giving some chick money, we gonna have to call it a date. We gonna be going out. We gotta call it a date or something.
Yeah, I'll drop 40 if we go out on a date. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah,
or because another thing is I will not buy your personality. That's another thing. Like, don't just sit
Mhm.
there asking for money just because I'm get to unlock you to, start cooperating out here. I'm not trying to make an investment with money. I'm trying to make an investment with vibes. You ain't just
Yeah, vibes and time.
I ain't just gonna sit there and just fucking slide you some shit all because you got a pretty face and you give me the illusion that you might be interested. Fuck that shit. You can go be an undesirable somewhere else. I'm not even going to entertain that shit. The hell. But yeah, that's like all I gotta say. Take a fucking shower. Stop blaming each other for your for your mustiness. Take responsibility. Level your shit up. And actually realize that if you want these girls or these dudes to start choosing within your own race, I'm talking to you, black nerds. I'm talking to you. If you want these people to start choosing on you, maybe you should make the changes. Go get your hair done a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Wear some nice body, buy some body butter or whatever. Use some fucking lip balm. Stop bringing your crusty lips to these cons. Stop criticizing these white dudes and these Asian dudes. And not every Asian is Japanese with your weeb asses. Like, damn.
Don't you gotta get the dudes too? I mean, they fetishize the
That's what you was talking about. Talking about the dudes.
That's what I'm talking about. Both the
Basic.
dudes females.
He said Asian dudes and stuff. I mean, I don't want to seem like he's sexist, just calling out the.
I call out. I call out
matter.
the Asian dudes and the Asian females too. I
words
equal
matter.
opportunities over here.
Words matter. I don't want your words twisted against you.
I know words matter, but even if I said Asian dudes, I ain't gonna do shit about it because I check their ass anyway. Try me.
Okay, this one I'm going to say. One, even though I've always not liked NetherRealm Studios and I've always thought their game stiff, MK11 looks kind of good. And if they don't have Kung Lao, I might just main Jackie Briggs because I love her new design. I hated her MKX design, especially with the long neck. I thought her MKX design was terrible. Also, I'm a kind of guy that believes less is more. So instead of us focusing on the people that don't fuck with us, we should always focus on the people that do fuck with us. And that's all I'm gonna say about that. This is, you know what? Let me just say podcast, and I'm signing out.
All right.
Until the next podcast.
Out.
Ain't this in the mouth? Bullshit.